Na 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 na.
Okay, so I decided that I should start making some video vlogs, because I am desperately trying to catch everybody up with the Purple Lab story and the making of a brand. I am months and months and months behind in the story where we are now. So I thought, to hurry up and get to all like the fun, sexy, cool stuff that's happening now, I should zip through it by doing some by video. And for those of you who have not been reading my blog, I really hope you will. The URL is www.purplelabnyc.com/purpleblab, B-L-A-B, get it? And then the blog is also shown on AOLstylist.com and the Huffington Post in the style section. So where we last left off, I was saying I am absolutely not Donald Trump, not my last name, no trust fund. I have even called my dad saying, Dad, are you sure there's no trust fund for me anywhere? Because if there was, now would definitely be the time to give it to me. And I hear all this clanking in the background. It was like, I'm looking in the kitchen. I don't see anything here. Your trust fund is, trust me, there is no trust fund. So Todd and I are literally going broke, and it is really difficult. It's hard on us personally, emotionally, obviously financially, and we realized we desperately needed help. We knew we needed a business plan because in my naivete, I thought, wow, I can go to amazing businessmen and women and say, this is what we're doing. Here's all the action that's happening. It's really amazing. I really believe in it. And they would just see what we're doing, and they would believe in me and the passion I have and say, great, here's money, I'm going to help you. And that was not happening. And in fact, I realized that the more I thought that would happen, the more people did not take me seriously. So I needed a business plan. And the way business plans work is you put something together with all of your projections and your whole business strategy, and you put together these massive charts and a P&L, which stands for profit and loss, and there are these Excel sheets that show basically your profits and loss and how your business is going to function and where you're going to be 1 year out, 2 years out, 3, 4, 5. And we were thinking about, my God, what does this mean? How many stores do you start shipping to? What does that mean? What does that look like? How are you supporting these stores? Not just in marketing, but when you're in a brick and mortar, meaning traditional store, you know, when you go to a department store and there's somebody who is ringing you up, but somebody else has helped you, usually the person who has helped you is working for that brand. And they're paid for by the brand, but the person ringing you up is working for the department store. So now you have to staff those people. You have to send people into trainings. And if you're in Sephora, that's 200 stores. So now you're sending people around the country. You're sending people to work in all the stores. This is costing enormous amounts of money. So the more we were thinking about it, the more we realized we don't just need a couple $100,000. We don't even need $2 or $3 million. We need $5 to $8 million. And it's a crazy amount of money. All of this stuff was incredibly overwhelming, and we didn't know how to put it together. And the more I looked at Business Plan for Dummies, the more sick I felt. So I put on Facebook, OMG, need investors, have to put a business plan together, 911. And a long-time editor from my former days as a journalist contacted me. Her name is Brett Hill. I give her credit for being one of the 2 editors who really jump-started my career, because she gave me one of my first freelance assignments ever when I left my comfortable job at Women's Wear Daily to become a freelance journalist. And she worked for Mary Claire magazine. And the other editor who gave me my shot was Colleen Curtis, who is fabulous, and she works for Stylist.com. And I love them and thank them both with so much gratitude. Turns out that Brett's husband is doing just this. He has a business where he helps companies basically financially set up their business, put together their business plans, talk to, meet with, negotiate with investors. So we met with him, And this was honestly a 6-month process, 5-6 month process, where we were paying him money we honestly didn't have, and it was taking 3-4 day jobs to pay him, because he put together this book, Purple Lab LLC, and it's full of okay, you didn't see anything. It's numbers, it's charts, look at this spreadsheet. This is like hieroglyphics to me. It was this sickly, overwhelming process that honestly was giving me an ulcer, because I was working all day trying to make money for my day job, and then I would come home and work till 4 in the morning every night, get 2 hours of sleep, have enormous bags under my eyes that look more like beat down luggage, as if it came out of 15 conveyor belts after 15 incorrect destinations, and the clothes were falling out, and that's what my whole face looked like. I was like crying and miserable, but at the same time I was like, I can't and don't want to complain, because this is all for a large dream, and I totally believe in it. So this guy Jake, who's amazing and from Hayfield Capital, so you could look him up if you are starting your own business. We'll put his URL in the sidebar. He had investors and capital business people that he knew, and I knew some people from my dealings as a journalist who had been very successful, who started their own businesses, who like to invest in emerging companies. Unfortunately, what I found out is that to a lot of these people, an emerging company meant they have $10 million of sales. And obviously, we hadn't gone to market with anything yet. And the more I talked to people, the more I kept hearing, my God, if this were 2 years ago, I would write you a check right now. But in this economy, it becomes impossible to write this huge check. And everybody wants a guarantee. And this is a business where there's no guarantee. Retail is struggling. People aren't shopping. There's a recession. And I'm thinking, as much as there is a recession, women won't stop buying their lip gloss, because you might not buy your $300 jeans, but you're certainly not going to skip your $20 lip gloss, because especially in a recession, we all want something to make us feel a little more beautiful, a little more glamorous, a little more fantasy, because we can't have the things that we used to buy. So that was sort of my rationale when I would meet with investors. But P.S., it was a long process, and there are term sheets, and there's negotiations, and oh my God, it's really overwhelming. So this was all happening, and at the same time, we were manufacturing our product. So we're about to ship, and at this time, our main retailers were Scoop and Space NK. And I'm going to go into Space NK later, because that relationship didn't really work out. The way I liken it, it's like, the guy you always had a crush on and you would hope would ask you out, and he finally does, and you're so excited to go out with him, but on the date, it's not that fun, and then you kiss, and he is the worst kisser, like lizard tongue and horrible. That was sort of like my experience there. And bless them, I think they're an amazing store. It just was not the right store for us. Just like the lizard kisser might be a good kisser in somebody else's eyes. So we're waiting for our 30,000 components to come from China. They're made there. We get them filled here in the U.S., where our lab was putting them in bulk. And bulk is basically like those big, giant drums or vats of our lip gloss. We're about to ship. Space NK actually called us and said, we want to put you in 62 stores in the UK, and we actually want to put you in every single window during Fashion Week. But we're going to need you to deliver earlier, and we're going to need 120-something points of sale, which are our displays that were like sexy, like our box, and they showcase all of our products so people could come test them and put them on their skin, etc. Those displays are so expensive, and we weren't budgeted for having that many of them, but we thought, wow, this is the best marketing. You can't buy that kind of exposure. And we agreed that we would hurry up our manufacturing and pay every rush fee that we had to pay to have this amazing thing happen.